She stood in her kitchen, holding a slice of cheese like she had 100 times before. It looked harmless, maybe even comforting. But something wasn't right. Her knees ached more each morning, her cholesterol numbers were creeping up, and her doctor just warned her about early signs of heart strain. She never smoked. She walks every day. She eats healthy, or so she thought. Then he said it, some cheeses hurt women over 60 more than they help. That night, she opened her fridge and stared at all the cheese she had trusted for years. What if the problem was hiding in plain sight? What if the very food she relied on were silently working against her bones, her heart, her memory? There are 4 cheeses every woman over 60 should avoid. And 4 she should eat daily to feel alive again. Which ones are on your plate? The truth is shocking. After 60, her body didn't feel the same. Her energy dipped, her joints stiffened, and her digestion slowed down. But one food stayed in her life: cheese. It was her comfort, her habit, her favorite thing to reach for after dinner. Everyone said dairy was good for bones, but no one told her the full truth. Not all cheese helps. Some types actually harm women after 60, slowly raising blood pressure, weakening bones, and even clouding memory. The problem? These cheeses are often labeled healthy or low-fat. She had no idea they were silently working against her. But when she found out, everything changed. She discovered that just 4 simple cheeses can protect her bones, nourish her brain, and balance her hormones daily. And 4 others can silently destroy the progress she's worked for. If you're over 60, the cheese you choose every day matters more than you think. Why cheese matters after 60? At 60 and beyond, everything inside her body was changing. Her hormones had shifted. Her bones felt weaker. Her metabolism wasn't what it used to be. But no one warned her that cheese, the food she trusted most, might be making things worse. Some cheeses are loaded with hidden salts, synthetic additives, and preservatives that quietly raise inflammation. They can push blood pressure higher, weaken the arteries, and pull calcium away from bones. Her back pain, her stiff joints, her daily fatigue. They weren't just part of aging. They were signs her body was reacting to what she was feeding it. The worst part: these harmful cheeses don't look dangerous. They come neatly wrapped, heavily advertised, and often sit in every refrigerator without a second thought. That's why so many women keep eating them without knowing the damage they cause. It's not just about fat or calories. It's about what these cheeses are doing on the inside, clogging her vessels, disturbing her digestion, and making her age faster than she should. But it doesn't have to be this way. When she learned the truth, she didn't panic. She took control. Because there are still good cheeses out there, real ones, healing ones, full of nutrients her body actually needs. But first, she had to face the 4 worst cheeses that were stealing her strength every single day. The same ones millions of other women are still eating, not knowing the cost. It's time to reveal them. Cheese number 1: never touch processed cheese slices. The first cheese she had to let go of was the one she'd known since childhood. The smooth, square slices wrapped in shiny plastic, convenient, cheap, and always waiting in the fridge. She thought they were real cheese. But they weren't. They were processed cheese products, packed with chemicals, salt, food dyes, and synthetic oils. Not made to nourish, just made to melt. Each slice looked harmless, but inside, it carried sodium phosphate, trans fats, and preservatives that made her arteries stiffer and her heart work harder. She had no idea one slice could increase water retention, raise blood pressure, and even trigger joint inflammation. Every time she added it to a sandwich, she was adding stress to her body. It wasn't just food anymore, it was fuel for disease. And the worst part? Her body at this age couldn't filter these chemicals like it once did. That's why she began waking up bloated, tired, and stiff. The extra salt made her retain water, the trans fats weakened her cells, and the artificial additives left her brain foggy. Doctors never warned her because it's sold everywhere like it's safe. But once she learned the truth, she couldn't unsee it. These slices weren't aging her slowly, they were doing it fast. She threw them out. From that moment, she promised herself she'd never eat plastic-wrapped lies again. She started reading labels. She stopped trusting the words cheese product and easy melt. Real cheese doesn't come in single plastic sleeves. It doesn't sit for months without changing color.
Real cheese supports life.
Fake cheese steals it. This one small decision made her feel lighter, clearer, stronger. And as she took her next bite of something real, she smiled, because healing had finally begun. Cheese number 2: never touch blue cheese. She always thought blue cheese was fancy.
Sharp, rich, full of flavor.
She'd crumble it on her salads, spread it on crackers, and pair it with fruit, thinking she was eating something sophisticated. But what she didn't know was that this cheese was silently harming her body. Blue cheese is aged using mold cultures, and while some call it gourmet, that mold can produce mycotoxins, toxic substances known to trigger inflammation, allergies, and even gut imbalances, especially in older adults. At over 60, her immune system didn't fight back the same way it used to. Every time she ate blue cheese, her stomach felt off, her skin flared up, and her sleep got worse. She blamed hormones, but it was the cheese. 1 ounce of blue cheese also contains more sodium than she needed in an entire snack. That salt built up in her system, tightening her blood vessels, raising her blood pressure, and making her joints feel stiff the next morning. She realized the creamy texture came at a cost. Her body didn't need luxury, it needed healing.
The worst part.
Most people never suspect something so small could cause so many silent problems. But now she knew. And once she made the choice to stop eating it, her bloating lessened, her energy returned, and her skin felt calmer. She replaced it with lighter, natural options and never looked back. Blue cheese may be fancy, but it's not friendly for women over 60. Her body was done with beautiful poisons. It needed truth. It needed real food that supported her, not confused her system. And this decision was only the beginning. 3 more dangerous cheeses still had to go. Cheese number 3: never touch cheese with added flavors. She loved trying new things: smoked cheddar, jalapeno jack, garlic herb blends. The labels promised bold flavors, and the taste never disappointed. But behind the spice and excitement was a darker truth. These cheeses weren't just flavored, they were chemically flavored. Every bite came with hidden preservatives, artificial colorings, and chemical additives her body couldn't handle anymore. What she once saw as variety was now inflammation in disguise. Many of these cheeses also included MSG, a chemical enhancer that overstimulates the brain, disrupts hormones, and causes headaches, fatigue, and swelling in women over 60. Her hands would puff up after eating them, and her heart would race slightly. She thought it was stress. It wasn't. It was the cheese.
The spices weren't natural.
The smoke was often liquid smoke, a lab-made flavor, not from real wood. She was seasoning her food with slow poison. She learned that when cheese has to be enhanced, it's already lacking something, usually quality. And the cost was high. Her digestion became sensitive. Her skin lost its glow. Her moods felt unstable. But once she stopped eating flavored cheeses and returned to simple, clean options, her body responded with relief.
Less bloating, calmer sleep, clearer skin.
Her meals didn't need fake flavor to feel satisfying. Her taste buds adjusted. And so did her health. She now reads every label like a detective. If a cheese isn't pure, it isn't worth it. Her body deserved honesty. And fake flavor was the 3rd trap she proudly escaped. Cheese number 4: never touch low-fat cheese. She used to believe low-fat meant healthy. That picking low-fat cheese over regular was a smart, heart-friendly choice. The packaging said light, fat-free, and guilt-free, and she felt proud placing it in her cart. But over time, her energy dropped, her mood swung without reason, and her cravings became stronger. What she didn't know was that low-fat cheese isn't natural, it's manipulated. When fat is removed, flavor and texture disappear, so manufacturers pump it full of starches, gums, artificial thickeners, and even sugar to make it feel like cheese again. Her body needed healthy fats, especially after 60. Fats support hormones, brain health, and help her absorb vitamins D, A, E, and K. But low-fat cheese robbed her of those nutrients while offering nothing real in return. She noticed she felt hungrier after eating it, and her skin looked dull. Her bones didn't feel as strong, and her memory felt slower. It wasn't her age, it was the missing fat. The very thing she had feared was the thing her body needed to stay balanced and strong. The more she avoided real fat, the more her body cried for help. When she finally gave up low-fat cheese and returned to full-fat, natural options, everything began to shift. Her energy stabilized. Her mood softened. Her cravings calmed. She no longer feared fat, she respected it.
And she never touched another light label again.
That was the fourth cheese she had to walk away from. But now, she was ready to choose the right ones. Not all cheese is bad. She had removed the bad. The fake slices, the moldy blocks, the flavored tricks, and the low-fat lies were gone. But her journey wasn't just about cutting things out. It was about choosing better. Because not all cheese harms. Some cheeses are real. Some are rich in life-giving nutrients her body needs now more than ever. They protect her bones, support her brain, balance her hormones, and make her feel full without guilt. She didn't just want to avoid illness, she wanted to build strength. Now it was time to discover the 4 cheeses she could eat every single day. Cheese number 1: eat daily goat cheese. The first cheese she added back into her life was soft, creamy, and gentle on her body: goat cheese. It tasted rich but light, smooth yet satisfying. And most importantly, it made her feel good. Unlike cow's milk cheese, goat cheese contains smaller fat molecules and less lactose, making it easier to digest, especially for women over 60. Her stomach felt lighter. Her bloating disappeared. And her energy didn't crash after meals anymore. What surprised her most was how nutritious it was. Goat cheese is full of calcium, protein, and medium-chain fatty acids that her body could use instantly for clean energy. It also contains probiotics, which support gut health, fight inflammation, and boost immunity, a powerful advantage for aging bodies. Every bite felt healing, not heavy. She began adding it to salads, spreading it on whole grain toast, even pairing it with fruit for breakfast. It didn't just taste good, it helped her body work better. Over time, her digestion improved. Her joints didn't ache as often. Her mood lifted. Goat cheese also helped her absorb more nutrients from other foods, something she never expected. The fats in goat cheese helped carry vitamins deeper into her system, especially vitamins A, D, and K2, which are essential for strong bones and clear memory. And unlike processed cheese, goat cheese came without chemicals, preservatives, or fake colors. It was simple, clean, and natural, just like her new way of living. She didn't need huge amounts. Just a little each day made a difference. It supported her without overwhelming her body. Goat cheese became her daily ally, a quiet, powerful helper that worked with her body instead of against it. For women over 60, it wasn't just cheese. It was a small, delicious step toward strength, clarity, and healing. One bite at a time, she was rebuilding her health with the right kind of cheese. Cheese number 2: eat daily cottage cheese. The next cheese she welcomed into her daily routine was something she had once overlooked: cottage cheese. It looked plain, but it was powerful. Soft, mild, and full of life-supporting nutrients, cottage cheese quickly became her body's best friend. It's packed with casein protein, a slow-digesting protein that helps repair muscles, keeps her full longer, and prevents energy crashes. For a woman over 60, that meant fewer cravings, more steady strength, and better control over her weight. But the benefits didn't stop there. Cottage cheese is rich in selenium, which supports her thyroid, the engine of energy and metabolism. It also contains B vitamins, which help with cell renewal, brain health, and mood balance. She started having it for breakfast with berries, or as a light evening snack with flax seeds. It was simple, satisfying, and easy to digest. Unlike heavy cheeses that left her sluggish, cottage cheese made her feel light, clear-headed, and calm. And it supported her muscle mass, something many women lose after menopause. She noticed she wasn't just maintaining her strength, she was slowly rebuilding it. Her bones felt steadier, and her balance improved. The calcium in cottage cheese also played a quiet but powerful role in protecting her skeletal health. There were no chemicals, no fake flavors, just pure nourishment in every spoonful. Cottage cheese reminded her that healing doesn't always come with a loud taste or bold color. Sometimes, it's the quiet foods, the gentle ones, that do the most work. For her, cottage cheese wasn't a diet food. It was a restoring food, and it earned its place on her plate every single day. Cheese number 3: eat daily Parmesan, aged. She never thought a hard, crumbly cheese like Parmesan could be one of the best choices for her health. But once she learned the truth, it became a daily part of her life. Real, aged Parmesan isn't just a topping, it's a nutrient powerhouse. It's naturally lactose-free, which made it easy on her digestion. The long aging process breaks down the sugars that usually cause bloating, making this cheese a gentle option for her sensitive stomach. Just a sprinkle added deep flavor to her food while quietly delivering calcium, protein, and important minerals that kept her bones strong. For women over 60, these nutrients are essential. She started adding a little Parmesan to roasted vegetables, soups, or whole grain pasta. It didn't take much to make her meals feel rich and satisfying. Aged Parmesan is also high in phosphorus and contains small amounts of vitamin B12, which helps support her nerve health and energy levels. There were no additives, no hidden sugars, and no fillers, just pure cheese aged to perfection. She noticed her body reacting with gratitude: less bloating, steadier energy, and stronger nails and hair. Parmesan didn't feel like a diet choice. It felt like a quiet act of self-care. It gave her flavor without guilt and strength without stress. In a world full of artificial ingredients, this simple, aged cheese stood out as something she could trust completely. And with every bite, her confidence in her body grew stronger. Cheese number 4: Eat daily feta, sheep's milk. The final cheese she added to her daily life was one she used to enjoy only on special occasions: feta made from sheep's milk. Its sharp, tangy taste and crumbly texture brought her meals to life. But more than flavor, it brought her body something it had been missing. Sheep's milk feta is packed with calcium, zinc, and B vitamins that support nerve health, immune strength, and bone density, all critical for women after 60. Unlike cow-based cheeses, sheep's milk is naturally easier to digest. That meant no bloating, no gas, and no discomfort after eating. She began sprinkling feta over her salads, mixing it into omelets, or adding it to warm roasted veggies. It was light yet filling, bold yet gentle. The fat in feta helped carry vitamins deeper into her system, especially vitamin D and K2, which are crucial for calcium absorption. She noticed her skin had more glow, her knees didn't ache as much, and her digestion stayed calm. What she loved most was that feta didn't pretend to be something it wasn't. It didn't need fancy packaging or artificial flavor. It was real, ancient, and healing. It gave her body a break from processed foods and gave her meals a boost of natural goodness. For her, feta became more than a topping, it became a sign of how far she had come. Choosing it daily was choosing her health, her strength, and her future. And her body thanked her with every bite. She never thought cheese could be her turning point. But now, after removing the harmful ones and embracing the 4 healing kinds, her life feels different. Her legs no longer feel heavy, her joints don't scream when she moves, and even her mood feels lighter. This wasn't about giving up the food she loved. It was about making smarter choices that respected her aging body.
After 60, every bite matters.
And with the right cheese, she's fueling her bones, protecting her heart, and nourishing her gut. It's a small change with a powerful reward: more energy, more freedom, and more confidence in her body. She knows now that age doesn't mean decline, it means wisdom. And with that wisdom, she's choosing life, strength, and vibrant health. One delicious bite at a time. Her story is proof that it's never too late to rewrite your health. And maybe, it all starts with what's on your plate.